Hey, everybody. Welcome in. Welcome in. Oh, my goodness. Guys, it is, I need to work on remembering things. Let's put it that way. But welcome back to the True Crimes of Scientology with Nora Ames. And that's me, Nora Ames, your host. Um, Happy Saturday, everybody. And for everybody who went out and protested yesterday and lit a candle and participated in a vigil around the world to celebrate and remember um, Lisa McPherson. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for keeping her memory alive and for not letting David Miscavige ever forget that we will always know. We will always know what you did. Yeah, that's what just happened there. Guys, don't start trying to move stuff around on your desk when you're live. Don't do that. Oh, well, guys, last night, just to give you guys a recap, you guys saw Liz Gale here at my house. We spent the evening together and we went to go see. Oh, shit, I left it downstairs. We went to go see an author, a local Portland author who's also a born into Scientology, Pamela Nickel Wilkies. Oh, God damn it. Hang on. Let me pull it up. We were at this place. Where did we go last night? Hang on. And it was at a very indie bookshop here in Portland. And we saw her speak. Along with another author who's actually a survivor of evangelical cult type stuff. And that was amazing. What was fascinating about hearing just the small part about her story. I bought her book. I'll be reading it. Um, let's see here. The name of her book is Clearly Lies Are True by Pamela Nickel Williams. There we go. Let me go to her website here so you guys can see who we were hanging with last night. She's got a whole website dedicated to her book. Now, what's interesting about Pamela's story is that she's also born in, but her parents got in the 50s. So OG Scientology time with Lafayette, just after he'd written Dianetics, right? So this is OG time. And she was born the year after, 1957. They were living in Washington, D.C. And in 1958, she was born. And so they were original founding church members there. And her story takes her so many places, to England, on the Royal Scotsman, on to Los Angeles, across decades. And the fascinating thing for me listening to her story was it's always the same. There was no era where Scientology wasn't evil, where Scientology wasn't harming people, where Lafayette wasn't fostering an environment for abusers, and where children were still harmed. We're still harmed. So please get this book. Clearly Lies Are True by Pamela Nickel Williams. It just came out. I have my copy here. She autographed it for me. It's downstairs. I left it in my kitchen. I ran up here, guys. I apologize. But we had a wonderful evening. And then Liz, she lives a little bit far from me. So she stayed here instead of driving home late. And I made big breakfast. And then she left. So we had a good time. We didn't, she's got other things she's got to do today with her family and everything. So we weren't able to, get together and do more lives, but we're going to be doing a lot more. It's going to be interesting today, as you guys saw from the title here, we are going to be talking about this incredible data leak that just happened. Okay. And I do have Nope, that was a whole other research. I have so many like Chrome things open where I have different. Here we go. Okay. Um, and so I want to go over this data leak, and we're going to kind of go over it like chronologically and stuff. And what does this mean? What does it mean? What is it, and how is this going to assist or hinder all of us here in the world of speaking out about Scientology? Going forward. Okay. I think on the outset, I want to say that I think that this data leak is going to be one of the greatest things for the truth seekers about Scientology that has ever occurred since probably there's been big things that have happened kind of in every era, right? The first big thing that was happened is that it was banned in England in 1966 because of tax evasion. They kicked Lafayette out, right? And then it was banned in Australia. Now it's back in Australia. It was banned in France. We had Barefaced Messiah, which tore a lot of people out. The 1991 Time article, that dropped. Leah's book and the Aftermath series, Going Clear. All of these things are like big punches that have happened over the years. And people coming out, in addition, backing those big punches up with all of the follow-up, if we're going to do a boxing analogy here, jabs, uppercuts, everything can't be the knockout punch, right? All of that leads up to a knockout, right? So yeah. Oh, there, you guys, Rebecca, you have one in Ontario, Canada there? Guys, I have to blow my nose. I'm going to mute. Please hold. I have that, whatever the thing is, that is going around where you just have like never ending sinus things. So I saw a doctor. Well, hopefully this will do it. So the first thing, I was up so late last night. We were partying. No, just kidding. We were just up late talking, me and Liz and my wife. The first thing I want to go over is an article here from the BBC from 2013. Operation Snow White. Yes, of course. Okay. We're gonna do this kind of chronologically here. Okay. So this article right here. Okay, this is how Scientology changed the internet. Okay, and this is written by David Lee, technology reporter for BBC News. Okay, and so this is 12 years ago. Okay, what do Wikipedia, WikiLeaks, Anonymous, copyright law have in common? The answer is they have all been influenced by the Church of Scientology International, as it took on ex-members and critics who took their protests onto the internet. Okay, so remember what was happening in 2012, 2013. Okay, Tony Ortega's blog was starting to really take off, and people had started channels. I started my channel just after this, and things like that. Anonymous, all of these things. Okay. And you had Operation Clambake, Xenu.net. There was a few other ones that the names escape me. But yeah, people had started big websites that were cataloging and putting out there all of Scientology's stuff. Okay. As the church successfully removes another website, just how big an influence has Scientology had on the internet we all use? Last month, digital rights activists at the influential Electronic Frontiers Foundation placed the Church of Scientology into their Hall of Shame over what it says were repeated acts against internet freedoms. It was just the latest twist in the church's long-running feud with negative Scientology content online, that has lasted almost 2 decades. Back in May of 1994, y'all, that's the year I graduated high school, May 1994, at a time when most major organizations were yet to figure out how to exactly deal with the relatively unknown power of the internet, the church's Elaine Siegel had a few ideas outlined in a leaked email to all Scientologists on the internet. That was the title. I would like to ask your assistance in getting each one of you to post positive messages on the internet at least once a week. More if you like about Scientology. This is before social media, guys, where we're posting things multiple times a day. Multiple times a day. Okay? If you imagine 40 to 50 Scientologists posting on the internet every few days, we'll just run the SPs, ex-members, right out of the system. It'll be quite simple, actually, or perhaps not. Censorship innovators. Yes, I would definitely categorize Scientology in the censorship innovation moniker. That is perfect. That is a perfect categorization of what they do. Unsurprisingly, the church today is keen to distance itself from Miss Siegel's email. Its ancient history in terms of internet development, spokesperson Karen Powell told the BBC in a series of emails about the church's relationship with the internet. The email in no way reflects or represents the church's current relationships with IT professionals or use of the internet to provide information about Scientology to anyone who seeks it. She's right. The church has moved on, instead seeking new ways to have negative content removed from the web. They're kind of innovators finding ways to censor the internet, Dr. Martin Poulter said from the University of Bristol. Dr. Poulter is a lead trainer for Wikimedia UK, the British arm of the nonprofit organization that looks after Wikipedia, and often edits its Scientology pages, something the church is no longer able to do. Scientology was the first organization to be officially banned from Wikipedia. Okay. There were several different accounts making very similar contributions in advancing pro-Scientology lines or deleting anti-Scientology stuff. Dr. Poulter's first experience with the church's online actions came early in the 90s when he was browsing a news group called alt.religion.scientology, a place where critics and ex-members were posting information on the church. The reaction from the Church of Scientology was that it went really berserk. With the help of local authority, the houses belonging to newsgroup users across the U.S. were raided, with computer equipment being seized for weeks on end. Okay? So just think, guys, this is the 90s that Scientology was doing this. This is 2013 when they're writing this. This is telling you some history of what we're going through now. Okay? The days of the internet as a cozy private intellectual cocktail party are over, Technology magazine Wired prophetically declared in 1995. Encourage tolerance. Scientology officials remember those early days with a slightly different perspective. The church at that time had been a pioneer in religious website development, and there was a concern about hate speech. Hate speech. This is a very hate speech is a very this is a buzzword, right? This is a buzzword, and this is something that the church wants to say that they are, against, and that they are stomping out because they don't want, people saying truth about Scientology that isn't kittens and rainbows. Truth is just truth. Truth is not happy or sad. It doesn't have an emotion. It just is. And when you cannot handle the truth, you call it hate. That's how that goes. Okay. So much so that the church took over internet service providers such as Netcom. They took them to court, rather, over users who were posting copyrighted works online in order to attack Scientology. Netcom retaliated, saying it could not be expected to screen everything its users were posting, a defense now frequently utilized by large sites like YouTube. Okay. There's Xenu.net, okay, from an anonymous protester back in 2008. That battle, was one of several which led to the creation of the Digital Millennium Copyright Act. Thanks, Scientology. Thanks, Scientology. Hey, Cody. A U.S. law that gives copyright holders the power to ask for the removal of content to which they own the rights. The DCMA is now widely used by the entertainment industry to have content removed from the internet. For the church, it was a tool that allowed them to go after ex-members and others who had posted secret scriptures online. One such site, Operation Clambake, was a particular thorn set up by Andreas Hedelund, RIP to him. The site not only hosted previously private Scientology documents, but large amounts of criticism of the church too, because it had been set up in Norway. Xenu.net was beyond the DCMA's reach. Okay, so the church did the next best thing. Okay, it made the DCMA request to Google for the site to be wiped from its search results. Google complied, sparking strong criticism. Okay, faced with the backlash, Google came to what founder Sergey Brin would later describe as the right compromise, removing the listings but replacing them with links to another website, chillingeffects.org, which lists the details of the DCMA requests. Meanwhile, anti-Scientologists linked to Xenu.net from their own sites, thus pushing it up Google's rankings until it appeared ahead of the church's official site. Former high-ranking Scientologist Geir Easing, who left the church in 2009, told the BBC that the church was so concerned about this that it put pressure on Mr. Brin at a conference. Sergey Brin, the founder of Google. Brin, Google, same, okay? In the hope that he would alter search results to downrank or remove anti-Scientology material. The church denies any discussions took place, while Google told the BBC it had no record of a meeting, but added that Mr. Brin and other Google bosses would often meet webmasters and discuss matters relating to search at industry events. No official meeting took place. The company strongly denies any suggestion it would have considered changing its search algorithms. Mr. Yassine said his IT experience was used by the Church of Scientology to get under the skin of Mr. Hedelund by posting online as a girl asking for advice after being brutalized by Jehovah's Witnesses. Years later, when the church asked Mr. Yassine how to combat their Google problem, he told officials they could never pressure the company into change. They thought that was the most stupid thing Google could think, because obviously Scientology was going to save the world. And Google was just a simple search engine. When asked about the meeting, Scientology played down Mr. Yassine's contribution. He joined a small group of former Scientologists. Small group. It's international, worldwide. There's more of us online talking about our experience in Scientology than there are active Scientologists in the world. Let's be honest. Who are trying to generate media stories about their former faith through exaggerated claims of their own importance. That's the thing, Karen. I don't think I'm important. I think what Scientology does is gross and it should be known. I don't think I'm important because I'm not the story. He was one of many IT professionals we consulted at the time. Nothing more. Total bullshit. As the years progressed, Scientology's run-ins with the internet community would come thick and fast. Most notably, from the likes of WikiLeaks, which in 2008 was still in beta. It posted more scriptures, provoking the first significant legal challenge to the site's owner, Julian Assange. Again, more history of how Scientology fucks up everything. He ignored the church's threat. Today, the church takes pride in its presence on social media and says it works with Google almost daily. They're just working with Google on its web campaigns. Yeah, guys, I guess I could say that too. I'm working with Google, guys. I'm working with Google because here I am on YouTube. Look at me working with Google. The teamwork has resulted in exciting technology and user experience milestones like our Rich Media YouTube channel, as the YouTube homepage interactive experience seen by 61 million people in a single day in February of this year. No, guys, just for shits and giggles, because they like to claim they got 61 million views in one day. Okay. Let's go to the official Scientology site. Okay, we're going to go. Here's the official Scientology site. Okay, this is their YouTube. We're going to go. They have 1,000. They have only 97,000 subscribers. Guys, My goal ultimately, you know how big I want to get on YouTube? I want to have more subscribers than the official Scientology, okay? Right now they got a lot more than me. So I got a ways to go. Okay? And if you scroll down here, here's their total views since 2006. Okay? So that is 19 years on the internet, 315 million views. Just in contrast, okay, now this channel is very small. The content I've put out on this channel, I don't have that many views. But for contrast, we'll go to the largest former Scientology channel. We'll go to Aaron's channel here. Okay. Growing up in Scientology, as you guys know, he has way more subscribers than Scientology. He has 3.5, almost, 2.5 times the amount of subscribers that Scientology has. His channel has been up less time than theirs, half the time. And he has almost as many, he's 125 million views. Now, that's because, that's what it takes. But Scientology didn't used to have that many views, guys. They didn't used to have, this is recent. And you can see, if you go to their videos here, okay, 87 views. 87. 154 views. 191. 164. 657 for praise talk about David Miscavige. 645. Guys, you have 97,000 subscribers and you've only got 87 views in 23 hours? 87. They're not even paying for the bots anymore, guys. Now let's go to their live. They just play their let's just see how many people are. I'm going to pause it because I'm not going to watch that. I think we're the only person watching this right now. And chat is disabled for the live stream. This stream has been going continuously since 2018. Should I just set up a live stream that's just going and that just that is amazing. Since 2018, guys. Since March 11th, that's Lafayette's birthday. I don't think that's okay. YouTube. I don't think that's okay. That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild. That was us checking on the latest news. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mute. Hang on. Oh. Oh, God. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just drowning in my snot here. Okay. So the teamwork has resulted in that. All right. So that was impressive traffic day. It must be noted that was a Super Bowl ad that generated that. A Super Bowl ad. So while it may have embraced the internet for its own purposes, organizations like the Church of Scientology still face the internet's disregard for secrecy as a constant threat. According to some measures, the church is suffering from declining membership. That's back in 2013, y'all. Many who leave the church are now more able to speak out, particularly with the help of blogs and social media, a threat that even the most intensive use of copyright laws struggle to touch. Founder Lafayette told them how to do everything in life, but he didn't leave any instructions on how to handle the internet. No, he did not. Okay, so what happened 2 days ago, guys? 2 days ago, we have this. Okay, this is an article again from Sean Doyle from the internet website called botcrawl.com. Okay, so here we go. This is going to get wild. All right. This is going to get a little wild, guys. So the Scientology data breach is an alleged cybersecurity incident in which the Quillen ransomware group claims to have compromised internal systems belonging to the Church of Scientology, United States-based religious organization. According to the group's listings on its leak portal, the attackers obtained confidential internal documents, internal communications, organizational records, employee-related data, sensitive administration files, and other materials that the institution has not publicly confirmed or denied. They will deny all of it. They're going to say none of it. Okay. So the Scientology data breach raises immediate questions due to the organization's long history, which we just covered, of maintaining strict confidentiality around internal communications, administrative files, auditing materials, and organizational hierarchy. Okay. Quillen claims the compromised data includes hundreds of directories containing financial information, internal department operations, human resources, documents, identity records, organizational program materials, and communications that appear to involve staff, volunteers, leadership, and regional offices. The leak indicates that the attackers marked the organization as publicated, suggesting that the data set has already been released for public download rather than held privately for negotiations. Okay. I'm going to skip a couple things here. So they showed a lot of images, background of the Scientology data breach. Okay. We went over this last time. These are some of the things that are included in the data breach. If the Scientology data breach includes personal identifying information such as identity documents, employment files, or contact information, the incident may create additional legal, regulatory, and privacy concerns depending on the jurisdictions involved. Scientology operates in regions with different data protection laws, including GDPR regulated countries, U.S. privacy regulations, and regional state level privacy requirements. Unauthorized access to identity data could trigger multiple reporting requirements depending on geographic scope. Okay. Now, this is what they presented: directory structures containing internal documents, file trees referencing administrative units, PDF files, spreadsheets, and image-based archives, material related to operations or internal communications, photos that may depict scanned documents, and internal file naming conventions that consist with organizational workflows. Okay. Now, this is important because a lot of these things, as we've covered over the years, guys, where is the money going? Who controls that? Who is moving people around the world, right? Because all of us who have left, we had a position, we had a job that we are no longer doing. For example, I'll bring up Matt Pesh, who in an interview with Jeff Augustine over on his YouTube, the Scientology Money Project. I encourage you to go watch that interview in full. Matt very brazenly, almost braggadociously, in my opinion, talks about at the very end of the interview that he was running a slush fund out of the Clearwater base for, people who got into massive legal trouble that needed to be human trafficked to another location out of the jurisdiction where, they could legally be held responsible. Right. And who's controlling that now? Because it's not like Matt took the money with him. He didn't take the money with him. That was just his job, to human traffic people. Unfortunately, I mean, there's no kind way to be like, hey, I used to human traffic people after they got SA'd and like human traffic their fucking assaulter too to cover up the crime. Like, whoops. There's no casual way to present that. Yeah, that you're a criminal. You did that. That's a crime. That's a crime against humanity, and you were a participant in it. It's not really a joke. So telling that during a live stream and then laughing about it as if it's, just a fun anecdote, I find to be appalling and grotesque. But that's just me, guys. I don't think any of those things should be taken lightly, right? Now, I do have, thank you from Apostate Alex for sending me these documents. I have a few of them to share with you. I am aware they have been shared somewhere else, but you know what, guys? I'm going to share them here. It's my show. I'm going to show you what I want. Okay. This first one here, let's talk about it. This is a what you would call a dispatch. Yes, you can see it's from Apostate Alex. So this is talking to the money person in the advanced organization St. Hill, United Kingdom. Okay. Director of training services, and this is the director of registration. Okay. So this is who it's from at the bottom. There's no line that you write in there. But the bottom person is always like, this is from, and you're sending it to this person. Normally there's a little CC here, right? But you have to send these all, okay? Credit to training. Dear both, this is redacted. So-and-so is now a Sea Org member at St. Hill, so he won't be auditing on paid hours in the HGC. Like he won't be receiving that. Like this is a person who paid a fuck ton of money to go get auditing, okay, to receive it. But now he joined the Sea Org. Please credit to training his unused auditing hours. So now they're going to put this kid, this is called money laundering Scientology style. So here I am. We're going to do a thing. Okay. I'm going to use my Buddha. Here's Buddha. He walks in to X Scientology organization and says, I would like to go clear. So the registrar says, okay, give me all of your money. So he gives them a fuck ton of money. He goes and he sits in the little, room where he's being interrogated about all of his, trauma and blah, 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 blah. Now a recruiter comes along. I have so many things on my desk that are fun to play with. The recruiter comes along, is like, join the Sea Org, join the fake space Navy, save all of mankind. He's like, yay. So now he's going to be part of he's going to go be part of it. So this person, okay, this person has now been recruited, and he's going to go off and he's going to be a full-time student. He's going to be a full-time student. Okay. So now they're going to take all that money that's in a pile over here that went to one department, and they are going to move it to another department to pay for the classes, even though he's a fake Space Navy member. These are supposed to be paid for him. They're going to make him what's called a paid completion. Okay. So that every course that he completes will now get to go on the official statistics for the organization. That is called a false statistic, right? So when they say they're training so many auditors, all these people, right? It's because they are taking the people who are already there, making them join to become an indentured servant and continue doing their studies. And the money that they donated that was for these things, now that organization can count that on their, statistics. Did you guys like my demo? Okay. So this is a way that Scientology, especially for the people involved, makes it look like they are still expanding. They are still growing. They are still creating this buzz that doesn't exist. It's all the same internal money. Okay. So that's that one. This one here, this is, they need money. This is something you write up when you write what's called a completed staff work. They even spelled it out here instead of just writing CSW. Okay. We have the next visas that need to be paid for. What? Let's see what human trafficking we're going to engage in today. The following staff in the org do not have visas and need to leave the country in November. That's last month, guys. Blank does not have a UK visa and therefore can't be paid. He needs to get a valid visa ASAP. His US visa is on the lines. That means it's in progress, right? We need to pay £1,800 in order to expedite this so he can go to Florida. Otherwise, we may wait months more, but he still has to leave the country. He has to go out and come back in, right? Because everyone's immigration laws have fucking stepped up, guys. Okay. This is another person here. She needs to get a minister of religion visa. Alert the UK. Alert people in the UK. If someone can bring it up to the government to do an investigation into the minister of religion visas and find out how many of those people are actual ministers, how many of them are children being ministers, and things like this. This is how they're smuggling people into the UK for indentured servitude under this. Now, I haven't looked this up, guys. We're going to do this live. Okay. We're going to do it live as always. Let me go to this page here. Bop, 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 bop. Share a different page. New tab. Okay. Let's go. What requirements Okay. Oh, yes, I did spell requirements wrong. Thank you, Google. To get a UK Minister of Religion, this is a T2 visa, you need a certificate of sponsorship, okay, COS, not Church of Scientology, certificate of sponsorship, from a licensed UK religious body, proof of relevant religious qualifications/experience, English language skills, and funds to support yourself, plus a valid passport, a TB test from a listed country, all while being over 18 and genuinely intending to perform the sponsored role. Must be genuinely a religious role. For example, a priest, an imam, a rabbi. What is this code in the UK? UK SOC code 2444 refers to clergy, a key occupation for the Minister of Religion visa, encompassing roles like priests, imams, rabbis, bishops, and other spiritual leaders, requiring a sponsor from UK religious organization for skilled work, focusing on religious duties, spiritual guidance, and church leadership, with specific job titles defined by the Home Office under this code. Leading church services, preaching, providing spiritual guidance, pastoral care, and supporting mission operations. So does that mean if somebody gets a, I don't know why that's still there, a visa of this nature, I didn't share the other tab. Sorry. This one is the one I'm reading from now. Employers assign this code when sponsoring religious workers. So if somebody's like a fucking janitor, are they covered? Are they now preaching to the toilet? How does that work? How does that work? These things are shady, 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 guys. Shady, shady, shady. Okay? This is just evidence. What we have in this leak, guys, is evidence of their human trafficking, of them using these laws, okay, to get people specific visas. This leak comes from internal documents, obviously, from that organization there in the UK. Another person has to leave on the 19th. She'll apply for the 2-year religious worker visa. That's $2,600. This other woman will also do the same thing, and she'll leave to come back on the 15th. So they need 11,000 pounds. They have to get that out of, the thing. Okay, let's go to the next one here. This one is great. This one is, someone is in big trouble after this one. I can just tell you that right now because of the wording and everything else. Situation. There's currently no funds on the event audiovisual set aside. Guys, we have no funds. Great hall maintenance and New Year's preps need to be done within the next several weeks to deliver a successful and professional event. Particularly, we need TVs and stands. Oh, God, it stopped here. Hang on one second. And let's do it again. Pew. There we go. I'm back. We need TVs and stands to deliver the event in all languages to a professional level. Over the last 2 months, a lot of handlings have been done to repair and maintain any broken or non-operational equipment in the Great Hall. 2 more TV sets and TV stands plus additional equipment is needed to deliver future international events in all languages. We need 5,000 pounds. Like, it's just like you have to beg for everything. You're begging. You're begging. You're begging for this stuff. But this is going to be a huge problem for this to be this whiny and for them to just be completely unprepared and not have this like all the time. Oh, this is a bad one too. We're sending out an English mailer this week to get public to come for the holidays. This mailer is going out to 4,000 people in the United Kingdom, Europe, and the United States and Canada. They want people to come on over to East Grinstead. Cost for the fulfillment shipping with Royal Mail is £6,300. £6,300. This will mail internationally. Give us £6,300 to talk to 4,000 people, most of whom, like all but 150 of them, are actual Scientologists, and it will, maybe not just throw it immediately in the trash. Yeah. That's a video I made. Additional equipment needed. They really don't have any equipment there at St. Hill. This is bad. For the re-showing, re-showing of the New Year's event. Why are they re-showing it? You know why? Because the New Year's event, guys, is taking place on December 16th. December 16th. Guys, have I lost my mind? Is New Year's Eve now on December 16th, or is it on December 31st? Right? They need £1,500. They need more TVs just for that. I need to set aside money for Central Files admin supplies. Guys, I need £550. We need to regularly reorder folders, charts to put in the folders. Okay? Dead file cards, DF. Dead file. That means people who are deceased or who have started speaking out about Scientology. We need more dead file labels. We have run out. This week is I have enough to reorder these items without running out. Guys, these are all admin supplies that are needed. And thus the money should be set aside. Guys, why do I have to ask? Like, it's just so whiny. More postage, guys. Money is needed to send out the letters and general mail for this week. This generates letters in. Guys, if we don't send the letters out, they're not going to write us back. And hot prospects, guys. Hot prospects. Hot pockets. Yeah. Which can be followed up by the registrars. I need £4,000. This is the mailer that was mentioned earlier. Guys, we need to ship the calendars to the orgs. How will they know what day it is if they don't have their Scientology calendar? It's £2,000 for that. Guys, we have to send out our Christmas cards. Christmas cards. Like what? £16,000 for 12,000 Christmas cards. They don't have 12,000 people that go there. How come, guys, notice the discrepancy. They want 4,000 people to come in over the holidays, but they have 12,000 people to send Christmas cards to. How come they don't want the other 8,000 to come for Christmas? Make that make sense. You guys can't even keep your number of members straight. Guys, I need to get Central File supplies for the new names to Central Files. We just have so many new names coming in. We need folders. I need folders. I need guide charts, and I need deceased cards. This person thinks that the DF is for deceased. He needs deceased cards. How many people have died? Last week, we completely ran out of folders. In April, guys, we didn't have any folders. And material guide charts, these need to be ordered immediately. Otherwise, we can't put those new names in on paper because we don't use the internet. Oh my God. Okay, now this one, to me, very telling. Why? One second. Absolutely drowning today. Okay. This is the budget for the entire, this says security budget for the year. Okay. Very specific things. They need a security backup car. Guys, we need that car. Bomba and patrol dogs. For what? They need searchers for 3 days in all key spaces. They need an ambulance. An ambulance for 3 days during the events for 8 hours a day. An ambulance on standby. Okay. 10 local security pros and 4 for full-time nighttime security for the gate and perimeter patrol. Guys, we just need cash. They need just $1,800 cash, petty cash. Okay. Additional berthing. They need, guys, we need an apartment. I need an apartment. Contingency, another $1,800. We need executive protection. We need close protection for the tiniest man on earth. No, you can't complain like this. This is, I don't know that any of these propositions would be approved, but maybe this is how you do it in England. Manor dog search. So in addition to the other dog search, we need a separate dog search just at the manor prior to David Miscavige and, of course, Tom Cruise arriving. Mobile phones in use. Purchase of new phone and credit. Now, of course, in England, unlike America, you don't have like a plan that you pay monthly on. You just put a certain number of credits on there, right? So they need new phones. What happened to the other phones? Do they need burner phones? Probably. Another security car, a 4x4. They need a 4x4, guys. First aid equipment, but you have a whole ambulance. They want separate first aid equipment. All right. QM, that's quartermaster equipment. This would be weather gear, food for the quartermaster on night watch. You gotta feed the guys working all night, dumbasses. Refectory food for the pros. So this tells us where they house the pros at in the refectory. Flights for some bigwigs. That's 2,200 pounds. Okay. ID cards. This says consumables. What? What? Consumables for ID cards and passes issued. I don't know what that word means. I guess they're going to make the ID cards. Sign-in equipment. Metal detectors, signage, materials for the reception tent. They made their members walk through metal detectors, guys. Perimeter gate hangings. Construction of screens and bushes. 2,500 pounds. Radios. Tent security installation. Cables, network switch, fiber, and 3 new cameras. Pretty much everything on this list was approved. We didn't get we don't know if they got the dogs or not at the time that they, did this. They were asking for a total of almost 100,000 pounds, guys. Okay. Now this is for the IAS event that Alex went to protest. They literally wanted bomb searches. And why is this telling? Because they will tell the local township that they have to spend all this money to protect themselves because of Alex, who, by the way, is shorter than me. We're about the same height, I think. 5'5". Okay. He's not a big guy. And I don't mean that as an insult. He's still taller than David Miscavige, but he's not a big, he's not a big hulking man. And he's nice. It's insane. And they abided by all the laws. They're a peaceful protest. Okay. Guys, we need vital equipment for the refectory in order to deliver services to the people that are coming for the IAS event. Oh! Okay. Right. They need to be hired. Like you're just renting this stuff. Okay. 2 refrigerators. Okay. We need 3 bottle display fridges for the tent. We got to show them that we have champagne. We're not giving it to them. We just want to show them it. A multi-deck fridge, 2 hot serving stations, guys, 2 coffee percolators, a gastronome racking trolley. I don't know what the fuck that is. And a double tabletop deep fat fryer. I mean, hey, every party should have one of those. Every party. So here's the event. Again, IAS budget. Security logistics car, 1,900 pounds. The ambulance, 1,650. Security exec expenses, 1,800. Contingency, 500 pounds. It went way down. First aid equipment, 750 pounds. Flights for, 6 secret peoples, $2,500. Somehow that one. Cheapest online quote. And then the food, 1,500 pounds. We need $10,000. $10,000. Hot dog, we're writing to ethics. In September, blank was called by blank, as he did sign up for monthly payment with the Flag Service Office in England. He wanted to remind him that he, blank, was his sole money taker. And blank should find new people, not people who are already on the Flag Service lines. So what this is one registrar, okay, who has a person who always comes to him to give him the money. And another motherfucker came in and stole his person and got him to donate. So I'm writing you up because that's my money. That's my money. You don't get that person. That's my person. I take all their money. You don't take their money. This is a crime in Scientology. I take that person's money. You don't take their money. He also told my person that blank is also not sleeping with other women, despite, some hot sauce there. And then basically blackmailed this person and then got him to pay for 2 months. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? This is true. On every report, you have to write at the very end, this is true. Again, this is completions. Okay. So this tells you who is reaching the state of clear and all these other things. They blanked out the names. They did not blank out the countries. Okay. And what they paid. And this is the place where that happened. Okay. So they are talking about, this must be their trainees or something. This is probably a list of trainees. This is their account balance, what they have on account, right? So how can they make them into paid completions? Guys, we're going to have an international bookathon on Black Friday. International bookathon. Okay, so this is something that went out to everybody, right? It goes to all orgs, okay? This year marks the 75th anniversary of Dianetics, right? We are thus launching a global Dianetics bookathon, okay? Planet-wide surge to place Dianetics, the modern science of mental health, into the hands of tens of thousands of new people within just a few days. Oh, here we go. Guys, we need canine units hired for the base to keep intruders off the base. Note the date, 16th of October here, 2019. On this IAS event, we expect a picket of people that will attempt to break into the base. Anyone here refresh my memory in 2019? Anyone ever try to scale the walls or rush the grounds in East Grinstead? Never. The best quotation we got is from the company we used last year as followers. Okay. 2 ground patrol dogs and handlers for 12 hours. It's 1,700 pounds. Okay. And they need the night shift also. They didn't even look at England, not even upcharging for night work. Okay. We're currently only covering 144 hours. I don't know if that's enough. But these are the things that they will present to the city council to claim that people like Alex are a threat. They're intruders. They're going to attempt to break in. You know, it's like, come on. This is from this year. Funds are needed, okay, as part of our IS budget to fund the rental of vital equipment. This is, again, the equipment. Guys, we need refrigerators. It's like such a thing here. Uh-oh. This is an invoice from the 1st of November, okay, for the self-improvement and communication counseling. 12,565 euros. For 75 hours of counseling. Now, there is no service called self-improvement and communication counseling. They have to word it that way because probably the country that this person paid from with their euros, because this is Chechnya, doesn't recognize Scientology as a religion. So it has to be self-improvement and communication counseling. Let's just, let me use my phone here. Let me pull this out here. So we have 12,565 euros divided by 75. That is 167.53 euros per hour. 167 euros per hour. Yep. No, those dogs, Shats, those dogs were for the UK right there. Eastgren said they want the patrol. Here's the questionnaire. Okay. These are the things they pass out at every event. This is how they get your info. They want your name, your email address, your phone number, what country you're from, what you've done in Scientology, and where you normally go. I'm planning to arrive. You're going to make it there. This person checked there, but they didn't put, What are you going to do? OT preparations. Okay. I'm interested in doing services. Yes. Are you interested in joining staff? No. Are you interested in joining the Sea Org? No. Do you want to become a Class 9 auditor? No. Because if you say yes to you want to become a Class 9 auditor, that means you have to join the fake Space Navy. Because only fake Space Navy people can be, So this person just wants to stay being in the Sea Organization. There's a lot of redaction here. Okay. This is from the 28th of October. Okay. What are they going to do? They're going to do OT 6, OT 7, and case I don't know. Dream. If somebody can read that word, I don't fucking know. Management, something. So if not at flag, where are your folders? Oh no. Have you completed the PRF? Oh no, we don't get any of that data. Have you been to flag before? Yes. What was the last Scientology org mission or group you were online at? They, for some reason, blocked that out. When were they last there? Okay. But yeah, like these are things that people are filling out that they did not know were then being digitized, right, to the internets and are hackable. Again, this is more budgeting stuff. They want the dogs. Send in the dogs. That's a thumbnail I made when I had Liz on. And that's the end of the documents, guys. There's way more than this. This is just like a little tiny taste. What this tells me now, you guys, we could start a betting pool. We can start all kinds of stuff. This company, Quillen, who has, leaked all this stuff, they are a ransomware as a service company, not a SaaS, not software as a service. They are ransomware as a service. Okay. They're a RAS. And apparently that is such a thing. I learned that yesterday. Now the question becomes, will Scientology pay the ransom to prevent the rest of its internal, very damning documents from becoming publicly available? Now, guys, you have to access them. Austrian factory. You got to go to the dark web to find them on Quillen's site. According to the article here, we'll go back to that. They do say that they're located on their ransom site. Let's see here. They have training materials, copyrighted documents, proprietary religious works, operational guidelines. Yeah, you have to go on this whole website. Only exists on the dark web, so you got to go to the dark web. Did I see the mods chat? I did, Joe. I have not attempted to go on the dark web. I would like to not be raided by the FBI. Let's put it that way. Quillen ransomware incidents typically involve unauthorized access through compromised credentials, exploitation of vulnerable software, or breaches in remote access interfaces. The group is known to use double extortion methods, combining file encryption with data exfiltration. Although the Scientology data breach listing does not describe the specific attack vector, several possibilities still exist. Compromised VPN or remote access credentials, exploitation of outdated or unpatched systems, vulnerable web-facing applications, weak authentication on administrative portals, and compromise through third-party vendors or service providers. Now, as we know, Scientology has their own very own internet service that they use called Incom. So what this tells me is that Incom got fucked. Incom got fucked. And somebody's head, a lot of heads are rolling right now. A lot of heads are rolling. So these are the things they're going to have to do. Yeah. But if you want to find this, guys, if you want to find this info, you got to go on the dark web to Quillen's website. And there's a lot more stuff there that is not redacted. I don't know that it implies that somebody hired Quillen to do this. That's an interesting question. I think that Scientology thinks that they're impenetrable, and hackers love a fucking challenge. Case in point, my grandfather, Dr. R. Edward Nather, thank you very much, who was an astrophysicist, but also a computer pioneer, wrote some, he never used a computer that wasn't in his own computer programming language, okay, with his own email server that he maintained and everything. Okay, he never just bought a PC and, used Microsoft, right? So back in the days where computers were still on, like reel to reel and like huge things like that, one of his colleagues in computer science was like, computers are perfect. They are impenetrable. And my grandpa was like, hold my beer, and wrote one of the very first computer viruses for fun, just to prove his friend wrong. So hackers, my point on that story is that hackers, they're like, oh, challenge accepted. They don't, you're going to say, oh, it's impenetrable. Just like how Apple was like, no one can ever decrypt our software and get into our devices. And then hackers were like, hold my beer. And they did it. So there's nothing that's impenetrable in today's world. There is no Fort Knox. There is no super secret thing. Okay. That's just facts when it comes to computing. Scientology has operated in this fake sense of security for decades, thinking that no one can get to them. Right. And they did build a very good security wall. This isn't to knock it, but it's not, I'm out of ethics because of grandpa. Yes, true. Yeah. My grandpa was a certified genius. He invented the whole Earth telescope. He was an astrophysicist. He studied white dwarfs, which has led us to help locate other planets. Noticing the dimming of those stars and things like that. A lot of the technology put forth, some of the technology, I found this out at his memorial after he passed, that a lot of the technology that he was researching in computer science and stuff led to the MRI machine. And I was like, excuse me, why didn't I know that? Because my grandpa, that wasn't a bragging point for him. He didn't care. He cared about the stars. He cared about the outer space. Yeah. No, I know that, Joe. I know. I can go. I know. I know. That was a joke, but it's just, I don't know how to get there. I will. I could figure it out. But I don't know. I don't know that I want to do that on my home internets here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, good grief. Good grief. So, what do I think about all this? I think Scientology's fucked. I think Tor browser. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you for that comment earlier too. Yeah, I need to download a totally different browser to get onto the dark web. I think this is going to open up a lot of doors. Even despite the fact that I was potentially allegedly referred to as a hemorrhoid of the internet yesterday by Aaron Smith Levin, which I guess I don't know which preparation H you get for that. Is it just you just get it online? Please stop asking if I'm Ben Shapiro. I am not a man, number one. I am not Jewish. And no, I'm not a white supremacist Zionist. So no. Yeah. Nope. Nope. Yeah, definitely not Ben Shapiro. No, thank you. But if you ask a question once and I don't answer it, then I chose not to answer it. Don't spam the chat. So what does that mean? I think this means a lot. And like I was saying, I made that joke, but I'm pretty sure Aaron was referring to me in that moment, and that's fine. It's all right. Yes. Aaron has been released. Guys, if you didn't know, breaking news yesterday on the anniversary of Lisa McPherson's death. And Aaron did a whole video about his experience in jail, things he learned, and things like that. I encourage you to go watch it to hear from him directly. Because actually, some of the things he learned in jail, I am glad that he, in 2025, at the age of 44, has now become fully aware of the U.S. Prison industrial complex and has learned that most people who are in jail don't deserve to be there. Like, good for you. Welcome to 2025. Holy shit. Sorry. It's astounding to me when people are so ignorant of their literal surroundings that they cast judgment so easily. And this isn't just Aaron. This is many people, even people who didn't grow up in a cult like we did, who weren't indentured servants as children, who went to school, have no idea of the pay for play system that we have here in America in terms of our fucking prisons, which are disgusting. Okay. And just listening to him about that, I had to stop and just, it blew my mind a little bit that this is at like the age of 44. This is what he's discovering. But I'm glad that he saw it firsthand and it's real to him now. So that when people like me would tell him stuff like that and he would tell us to go fuck ourselves because we don't know what we're talking about, now he knows that we weren't just, espousing things that were opinions. Okay. So good for him. And little snaps. Good job. I do find it, and I'm going to say this because I didn't say it at the time, but I'm going to say it now. I do find it abhorrent for Jenna to compare Aaron's 22 days, and at the time it wasn't 22 days, it was like barely 8 days in jail, to the likes of Nelson Mandela spending 27 years imprisoned for trying to free his people. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. Aaron is many things. He is not Nelson Mandela. He is not Martin Luther King Jr. Also, he's not black. So stop that. There's plenty of white civil rights activists that you could have thrown out there. Please learn about them. Okay. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. And I talked about Aaron's stuff yesterday. And he is released on his own reconnaissance at this time, but he's in the program. So he has to report in every week. It's supervised. He just doesn't get to roam about the cabin. And he also still has that order of protection. Right. So he announced on his live that he would be basically being I'm trying to think of the word he used, like command central for the protests, kind of, being in his studio, and then he would be like highlighting what's going on in the different places and just kind of like, pumping up the other things. I don't think he intends to go back out to the Target 2 area right now. That it didn't sound like that, but he may change his mind. I'm not in charge of him. I'm not saying he's definitively decided anything. And I do want to say, in my own defense, the thing that Liz and I talked about yesterday, kind of, you know what? We talked about a lot of stuff, and I'm totally off topic now. We're way beyond the thing, and I should actually I should make this part go live to my other channel. But anyway, what is astounding to me is that we were talking about like the Mormon wives and people's character arcs and how one was the villain, now they're not the villain, all this kind of stuff, right? And like that Liz and I were half joking, that we need to, we need to embrace the fact that we're shit starters. We do, and not necessarily in a bad way, you know what I mean? But we do say spicy stuff. Like I say spicy stuff. I unabashedly, unabashedly talk openly about Mike Rinder's crimes. Now that is considered a cardinal sin in the ex-Scientology community, to point out that Mike Rinder should not have a superhero cape on, despite anything that he did after he left the Church of Scientology, because his job for over 20 years was covering up crimes like Lisa McPherson's death and preventing the criminals from being held accountable in a court of law for the crimes they had committed. That's just facts. That's not hyperbole. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. Okay. And I don't think that a foundation purporting itself to help former Scientologists lead a better life, which they are doing, okay, which they have done, and I'm referring to the Aftermath Foundation. I refuse to call it the Michael J. Rinder Aftermath Foundation. I will never call it that. I'm sorry to Claire and Mark. I'm telling you right now, that's like calling it the Joseph Goebbels Jewish Holiday Foundation. What the fuck? That's insane. Why don't you just call it the David Miscavige ex-Scientology Foundation? I mean, it's like that. It's that level of crazy. Okay? We cannot continue to lionize this guy. But in discussing, I discussed this last night with Pamela, because we talked a bit after her book reading and everything. And I said, part of me over time sort of gets it, right? My big complaint was that Mike, even in dying, didn't spill all the beans. He didn't say where all the bodies are buried. He didn't do it. And the only thought that I can have as to why he didn't do that, partially, I think, ego, because he wants to be remembered as a superhero. He wants the superhero cape. But I think the other part might have actually been, and this part I get as a mom, to protect his children, to protect his youngest child that he had with Christy, who is still a minor, and to prevent Scientology and David Miscavige specifically for coming for them. And I get that. But also, like, you as a grown-ass adult and the same age as Christy's father, married this woman and purposely got pregnant and decided to raise a baby together. You knew what you were doing. You birthed that baby into your legacy already, which is a legacy of crime. And so you have a responsibility to allow that legacy to be whatever you want it to be. And apparently you just wanted it to be a secret. So, yeah, Exactly, Shats. Shats. Yeah. Not only did he know where the bodies are buried, he planned the graveyard. I don't understand this comment, Austrian. You're going too far as an Austrian. I don't know what that means. Like, for you as an Austrian, this is a bridge too far for you. I'm just trying to clarify. So, you know, the fact that, Aaron's case it's frustrating. Okay. Because in my opinion, looking at the chalk incident, as I said during my video, I very much agree with the fact that that act could be looked at under the law as a battery. Okay. Does that act deserve 22 days in jail? No. Does it deserve an order of protection for this random guy? No. This is all Scientological BS, right? And I think it's going to backfire a little bit, but also we still have to be, all of us, and I'm saying this is like a cautionary tale for people out protesting. You got to do it within the law. Okay. There will be a much lesser chance of you being in jail for any amount of time. Yes, this is a special Butch op-ed. Boop 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 boop. Special Butch op-ed. I need that as a thing. I need like a special music for that. Okay, now we're having, guys, Scott and Cass. Let's not debate the history of Nelson Mandela. Austrian factor, I don't know what this means. The CRO.E. I don't know what that means. Yeah, and Mr. Goebbels did contribute to millions of people dying. This is very true. Now, the scale is different between Mike and Mr. Goebbels of the amount of people dead and permanently, generationally traumatized. I will grant that. But in the scale of Scientology, same, right? So if we're just looking at them inside their own universe, Goebbels versus the whole world, and Mike Rinder in the internal Scientology within the confines of those members, same. He affected the same scale of people that he had access to. Does that make sense? That's why we look at that. Guys, I know that the story of Nelson Mandela, various things that happened during that time period, there was a lot of stuff, guys, that makes him a hero and a controversial figure. But my point is, in saying that, is that Nelson Mandela fought for the end of apartheid so that, literal civil rights in a majority Black country. Right. And it's not the same as us speaking out about Scientology. It's just not. What's up, Summer? It's just not. It's not comparable. It's not comparable. So to use that as an example is it's just gross. It's totally gross. I would expect better. I would expect better. And just get educated. Like, I mean, and the thing is that sometimes you don't know what you don't know. Okay. And if you don't know about civil rights other than to just name people that are like the most famous, then do some research. Okay. Go find out what these people went through. Aaron has never led a march from fucking Alabama to Washington. Never tried to march into Selma and got beat down by a load of cops in the street. People beat to death right there. Buses set on fire. We've never experienced that. Okay. We haven't had Scientologists come out with fire hoses and fire hose us in the street. Okay. So please. We haven't had police release their dogs upon a group of protesters to tell us to stop. We haven't had hot coffee poured on us in a cafe because we sat down at a counter that said Scientologists only. Okay. So, like, it's just, these are the things I'm talking about. Okay. Do Scientologists dehumanize their own members? Are they bereft of humanity? 100%. 100%. But likening us protesters or anybody protesting Scientology to the struggles of the civil rights movement in any way, shape, or form it's beyond the pale for me. It's beyond the pale, and it should never be done because it is not the same struggle. It is not. It is not. It is not. No. Austrian, I don't treat Nazi time lightly. I don't take that lightly. I have, and I've talked about this in other streams, but I have members of, family through marriage and other things that are survivors of concentration camps. Okay, and I do not take that lightly. The comparison between Mr. Rinder and Mr. Goebbels is meant that I'm giving that comparison because the name Mike Rinder strikes as much fear and terror and trauma into former Scientologists, especially ones who were under his thumb in the fake Space Navy, as Goebbels does for the people who were imprisoned and whose families were slaughtered during that time. They are of the same stature of fear. That's what I'm trying to give an analogy of. I do not listen. That time period, that tremendous loss of life, it's an unimaginable thing. I hope that nothing like that ever happens again. We are seeing the precipice of it now in this country, which is frightening. I really hope that we're not headed that way. Oh. Do you guys ever get sick and it's just like all like stuck in here? It's just stuck in here. Okay. So that's what I'm trying to, and I do, I do understand that. I don't take that lightly at all. I just want you to know that. So yeah. Yeah. But there you go, guys. So the deal is Aaron's out. He's going to keep doing, and I think that, his positive attitude right now is good. Have a positive attitude. Manifest the things that you want. He says he's going to win. He's going to be victorious. I hope for that for him. In a truly positive way, guys, in a truly positive way. And, he's not going back to jail. That's his vow. The easiest way though, guys, honestly, the easiest ways to not go to jail is don't break the law. Don't do anything that comes close to breaking the law. Don't do anything that anyone could interpret as breaking the law. Okay? Don't break the law. Don't break the law. Don't break the law. That's that simple. Don't do that. Yeah. Protesting is vital. Exercising our freedom of speech while we still have it here in this country, vital. I have been doing the neti pot. Thank you very much, Peter. I am literally doing everything, guys. I am taking Sudafed. I'm taking my Zysol. I'm taking my antibiotic. I'm taking prednisone. I am doing the neti pot and Flonase. I don't know what else to do. I don't know what else to do to conquer this sinus problem. Please help me. Literally doing anything. Okay. And that's that. And then on the West Coast, we've got Scott Hockstetter also accused of felonies. It's different than Aaron. That's why Scott has an ankle monitor and Aaron doesn't. Felony or misdemeanor. Also 6 versus 2. And Scott, bless him, and his ChatGPT attorney are, marching into court very confident. Very confident. In terms of, his ability to combat what he also perceives as Scientology. coming for him. First of all, it is the state of California versus Scott Hochstetter. And I'm sure, guys, that doesn't mean Scientology isn't attending the court sessions. Moxon is there. We all know that. But again, if there weren't crimes involved, the police and the district attorney couldn't charge them no matter what Scientology wanted. And we saw that. Aaron talked about that the prosecutor tried to show as evidence comments that Aaron had made in his recorded phone calls to Jenna and the one with Rabbit, right? Basically making comments, the comments that we heard him say about the judge, and specifically the comments that he made about the new deputy state attorney who had just passed the bar. She was like, and he said, I don't know what I'm doing. And the judge is like, so what? It's not a crime to have an opinion about a lawyer being green. That's not a crime. Yeah. I know. You gotta use the cooled boiled water or the distilled water. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, guys, I'm doing all of it. I swear to God. I'm doing it twice a day. Now here's the deal about the Mucinex, guys. Everyone's throwing Mucinex out there. Okay. I follow a couple of licensed pharmacists and allergy doctors on the TikToks and the internets, and all of them have said that Mucinex is basically a gigantic placebo. It is not really anything. So, Vicks Sinex. Yes, also Vicks Vapor Rub. I'm a big believer in the Vicks Vapor Rub. Okay. All right, I'll try that. Yeah, this is, guys, since I don't know. I've got allergy tested. Apparently, I'm not allergic to anything. I did the blood test. Guys, yesterday, now we're just going off. Let's just go off. Yesterday, I went to a cardiologist for the first time because I've been having all these things and like some chest pains and stuff, right? So I've been to, the doctor, all these things, right? And because of my familial history, my father passed, as some of you know, at the age of 45 of massive heart attack. My uncle, his brother, has had a double bypass. My grandmother, his mother, had a double bypass. My dad's dad passed of a coronary complication, a massive heart attack, also at the age of 45. My mom's mom had chronic emphysema and a hole in her heart. So, yeah. I have the boom boom sticks. I need to use those more. Love boom boom sticks. Also Zicam, yes, because that's the what the fuck is in there? I keep thinking it's nickel, but it's not nickel. Yes, the zinc. The zinc, it dries you right up. Yeah. So, yeah, so I saw a cardiologist. They did a stress test yesterday. And I think the cardiologist is trying to rule out my heart. I had an echo. They said my aorta is enlarged. It's not, we got to do open heart surgery. It's on the road to that, right? So it's something I have to watch. But we're at the end where it's still fine. It's just in the slightly out of normal range, right? So with my background, I want to know about that. I want to know if my heart's okay or not because I'm tired all the time, all these things. But also, guys, all of the symptoms I have, except for the snot coming out of my face, is all menopause also. Okay? Fucking menopause, which I'm definitely in the middle of. And finally, I'm getting treatment for that. So I'm trying to treat all of the things, okay? This is a lot of vulnerability. There's probably stuff nobody ever wants to know about me, but this is all facts. That Scientologists won't do. They won't know any of this stuff. They're just like, oh, no, I'm out ethics, right? I did the stress test. They were like, your heart looks perfect. It was good. I was, doing I was not running. I'm going to be honest with you. It was very vigorous walking. And so the next they're going to do a CT to get the full, picture and all this kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure this cardiologist is just trying to be like, this is a pulmonology problem, which means the lungs and not him. So I got to go see somebody else. I had undiagnosed asthma for a ton of time, guys. I didn't know. And it's only gotten progressively worse. I got COVID twice. OG COVID from 2020. And then I got it 2 years later. And since then, like things have just gone downhill. I had pneumonia earlier this year. It was not on the e-meter. No, it was not on the e-meter. Yeah. So it's yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I'm literally trying everything though, guys. But oh, I got the HRT. I am on, as they would call it here, gender affirming care. I am taking that. I got the estrogen patch boop boop on my booty right now. And I'll tell you what, that has been helping my mood. It's been helping my sleep a little bit. The hot flashes have been a bit better. So yeah. First X Clear spray. Oh, a colloidal silver. Oh no, honey. I hear a lot about good stuff about colloidal silver, but I don't want to turn blue. I'm not into that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, COVID fucked us all up. And guys, I'm not ashamed to say I got vaccinated. I still get my boosters. I didn't skip a vaccine. I know that the vaccine didn't give me COVID. I was working with other people and I got the Rona from them. So there you go. Oh, Joe, get that HRT, honey. Menopause, all the menopause ladies, guys, we're going to be discussing stuff like this on the other channel. But all your menopause ladies, we need to band together and we need to start fucking talk about this shit because it's important. Yeah. So there you go. No, Francis, you can say whatever you want. I say fuck all the time. It's okay. I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. But let's circle back to the actual topic here, guys. We'll circle back to the actual topic. This data breach, in conjunction with it happening the day before Lisa McPherson's death date, and Aaron getting out of jail. This is bad. This is a triple bad for Scientology. From Aaron's video from last night, again, I encourage you to go hear the words from him, not my interpretation of them, but he seems to be very fired up about not backing down. And good for him. Good for him for doing that. You know, I think he should, I hope that he's learned some good things. It seems like he's learned some stuff from being in jail, specifically that his privilege was showing. And he learned that most of the people in there are not bad people. Yeah, most people who are in jail are just fucked by the system. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Warm water, baking soda, and salt. Okay. Wow, silver lining. I can't do it. The hot flushes are murdering me, literally. Guys, call immigration on all illegal. No. No. No, West Cruise. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. Goodbye. Disgust. No fucking ice in here. Okay. But also, this isn't my political page. We'll go talk about that later. Listen, guys, please keep protesting. Please getting out there. Please keep calling in. Please keep speaking out about Scientology. Okay. It's really important to keep that up, to keep the pressure up. We're not done. The work is nowhere close to over. But this stuff, this wave of leaks, and if I get my hands on more information, I will be posting it. I will be putting it up. And we need to keep this up worldwide. Keep the pressure up. I want to thank T and Irish and Haggis and Miriam up north and Alex and who else was out in Audit and Laura and all of the guys in the Clearwater crew that were out yesterday. I don't know who else was out. If I missed somebody, I apologize. But all you guys for hosting lives, educating people about what happened with Lisa McPherson. We can never forget. We can never forget. We need to keep that up and keep talking about her and everyone else that Scientology has murdered or caused to unalive themselves over the years. Okay, because it's still happening. It's still happening. You saw they ran out of deceased files, guys. That's how many Scientologists are dropping dead. So we need to keep this awareness up. I'm going to be starting a whole other series on here of reacting to Scientology. That's Scientology reactions. I don't know. I'm playing with the name. I'm playing with the name of the series, but we are going to be doing a lot of that and a lot more lives, guys. Okay, here and on my Nora Knows channel. where we're going to be doing a lot of other stuff, fun stuff that is not Scientology. So if you want to join me to talk about that and all of that, please do. We've still got, guys, my next legal case is on the 11th, coming up this next week here. So anything you guys can do to help me send some money to my lawyer for that is much appreciated. I'm pretty sure that Mr. D'Amato is still in a mental health facility somewhere in the greater Los Angeles area. No clue where that is. Because he moved from the one he was at to a totally different one in between the time of my things. So the 30-day clock has been reset. I'm pretty sure that he will not be attending that hearing, because he hasn't attended any other hearing, with the claim of his lawyer saying that he was on medication that it prevented him from being coherent enough to attend said things. Although the medication that was listed somehow in the petition is definitely not a medication that does that. But I don't know, that's what the lawyer said. So hopefully I will let you guys know what happens from that. But if you guys can help me out, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, it's all there too. I can send that on over to my lawyer. But I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you so much for tuning in, for being here, for supporting, and for for listening, for listening. So thank you guys. Thank you to, of course, all the members here who keep this channel alive. I appreciate you so much. And thank you to my lady mods, the best mods in the business, who keep this chat flowing like the River Nile. And I will see you all on the flippity dippity.